And g'day everyone, it's Cowan here from Shedding Sheep New Zealand. We're going to talk about Easycare sheep. Now these are the Welsh Easycare sheep. There is the breeder, inventor, the man with the concept way back in the 60s of, hey, we're going to breed a sheep without wool. That is Iolo Owen. And sadly he did pass away about a year ago, and just before the Wairere Ram sale. The Wairere Ram Easycare sale is coming up, and that's why this video has come about. And a special thanks to Josh. Now Josh Lamb, that's Josh's YouTube channel. He's going to be previewing this video and to check that I've said everything that I'm meant to be saying and everything that I've said has been correct. Probably even see his face down here if we scroll down a little bit. There he goes. There we are. Right, thank you, Josh. Right, moving forward. Easycare sheep. Here is Iolo again, and there's a few videos that he's done, but there's not a lot of videos on this man. But he was a very free thinker way back in the 60s, and we've got a photo here of him and his dad. This is, I believe, pre-60s, but he had a small run of Wiltshire horned sheep, and he felt that even back then that wool wasn't worth growing for him and his system. And he wanted to design a sheep that was of moderate size, that would lamb outside and didn't need lambing assistance, was polled and not to be showed, and could grow lambs and finish lambs on grass. And he took the Wiltshire horns and then he crossed them with the Nelson type Welsh mountain sheep. I think we've got one of them here. Look at that. It's coming. Come on, hurry up. And there we go. Now there's a little bit of colour in the nose. We notice we got some horns. And so he's taken horns and horns on Wiltshire horns. And he has turned out a polled sheep. Now I think that's really clever. And we've got, see, a little bit of colour. So a little bit of colour is allowed. And what we're seeing, we've had some of these genetics come to New Zealand, and I've only been here a little while, about 3 years. We've seen Easycare genetics in New Zealand, and so that they haven't featured a lot on our measurement system, our recorded sheep measurement system called Improve yet. But the numbers, it's there because are where they are, because the data isn't to back them up yet. This isn't to say they're not fantastic sheep, and they have been selling very, very well over here. Right, in the UK there is a Easycare breed society. I'll have a very quick look at that. It's where I found Iolo there, and I probably should see just down here it says Easycare trademark. Trademark in the UK. What is that trademark? Right there. So it's the Easycare sheep name and the little sheep head. So that can't be used in advertising in the UK. Now, I'm interested to know whether that is why when the Easycare sheep came to New Zealand, to Wairere, they changed names. They became nudies. Okay, so when I refer to them, and this isn't to be confused with the Cashmore nudies out of Australia. So now we have Australian nudies and we have Wairere nudies, and the Wairere nudies are a rebranded Easycare sheep, or Welsh Easycare. Okay. Wairere aren't the only place bringing them in. We'll get to that soon as well. There's a little bit here on the Breed Society on their mission with regard to the sheep, but I'm just going to go over that again. They want them to shed their wool, to have a hairy coat underneath. So in the summer months they are hairy, hornless, polled, white, but that colour, as we can see from those Nelson type Welsh mountain sheep. Moderate size, 60-70 kilos for the ewes, 80 to 100 for the rams. Ease of lambing, wedge shape for ease of lambing is very important, and generally outside on grass is the plan, but he also believed in having a sheep for your conditions, and I think that's just awesome. And I can see them being part of the New Zealand blend. We're starting to integrate many factors and many types of shedding sheep into the New Zealand flock, and Easycare are well sought after as part of that blend at this point in time. And no showing. Okay, so no showing is the idea with those sheep. Right, we're going to keep moving fairly quickly. Improve. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search on Improve. I've already got some traits, and I've chosen Easycare, and I have excluded some flocks. Now I've excluded some because we've also got an EZI Care sheep here in New Zealand. Okay, part of Morrison Farming. So they used that EZI Care sheep as their little trade or brand name. Okay, so that is why I have excluded some flocks in my search. Okay, and it was really interesting when I brought this up. I've probably set the criteria way too high in this condition. The traits may be zapped all the way to the top, and it brings up Wairere Nudies and Meatex. The traits I'm going to, as you can see here, I've got them well cranked up. I'm going to bring them down. Right, I've got those numbers set at 10% across the board, and we've got Meatex, Sargent Partnership, Kahu Genetics, we've got Enfield. Now I was really surprised because Grant's been keeping that from me. He's been hiding the fact that he's bought in some semen, I believe. Meatex bought Wairere's top or the highest price ram. The Nudie, of course, rebranded here in New Zealand in the first sale. Hinanui, they have had access to or have had some genetics go their way. Of course, Wairere have got a lot of sheep because they have got semen. They've got embryos. Oh, I don't think, sorry, let me get that right. Embryos initially, and they've used some of those genetics carrying on and more embryos for 2 successive years. So they have 20, 22, 23 and 24 born embryos, plus New Zealand born Easycares and Easycare blends now across both romneys and across the embryo transplanted females. Now, Willow Glen are a bit of a surprise, and I'm going to go check why they are in there. Ipirua, Peter Foss Partnership, they've been bringing in, and I believe they may be crossbred Ixalana Easycare. Let me have a look. Yeah, so they are Ixalana Easycare. I was fortunate enough to see some of these animals on the ground down in the King Country. That was not that long ago, and I was down there and I did a little video with a visitor from the UK, and I got to view the lambs, and they were shedding very, very well and looking very lovely. So Peter Foss has got some. I'm just going to go back here, and I'm just going to bring this down. Waitahi Peaks in the South Island. Now they had access to one of the top Easycare rams at the time. A bit of a deal done, so they have got some Easycare genetics down there as well. Let me just check out this Willow Glen animal. Yep, so they do come up as Ixalana Easycare. I don't know much about that animal, but again, we have another animal, another breeder with some Ixalana Easycare, some Easycare genetics here in New Zealand. Right, with these are the main breeders that I know of with these animals, with that Easycare genetics. I'm going to push there, and it came about because we do have the Wairere sale coming up. So there's their third one. That is in a couple of days' time, and they've got embryo transplants. They've got full Easycare. and they've got those New Zealand bred in different levels. They also came in and suggested some other names. So they've got streakers at 50%, so that's across a Romney, and then they've got Brazilians, which are 75% Easycare or roundabout. Now this is actually really funny, because 2 days ago I was looking at this list, and this number 169 was the winner every time. But as numbers get changed around and data is processed in the background, we've had a new ram come through, which is this fella here, and I don't believe he is full. He is half Easycare. He's got some Romney, got some Texel and Texel Cross, and that's helping the numbers here in New Zealand, guys. So if you're overseas and you're looking at this and going, and the reason for this ram coming up is often because of that Romney, that New Zealand background, because we don't have that overseas data yet. So it's a hard call for buyers over here when they look at an animal that's kind of underrepresented in the data at this point in time. Where it's going to go, I can't tell you. This is the winner just about every time in previous searches I've done. Now he is featured. I can find him. Here he is here. So this is from last year's catalogue. He was a feature sire, and he was also sold. So he's moved on. He's probably gone to a commercial buyer, but whoever bought him has bought a fantastic ram as far as the numbers go and the figures in Embrew. And of course, because he was used as a sire, that's also bulked up his numbers. As we flow through, I suspect this one here, ND7524, that he isn't going to be coming up for sale, giving the numbers. If I can find him, other people can find him. Wairere are going to find him, so they're probably going to keep that fella. Going down, we do have this guy here. He's a Metex ram. Chunky is what I would call him, and I think he's fairly typical of the Easycare type. Short in stature, wide. We're struggling a little bit because the feet are a little bit different to what we're used to here in New Zealand. They're normally a lot finer, closer in the toes, where he's quite spread out in the toes by comparison. And he is bred very well. You can see he's coming very high in my search at this point in time. Again, he has been used in a stud, so I hope you enjoyed the footage of him. I've seen him, and he's going into his 3rd year. And he was the highest price sale ram in 2020. It's got to be 2023 because he was 22 born. So that was the beginning. So that was ND 222. Right, as we scroll down here, there's lots of the Wairere rams, of course. But there's a little bit of a surprise, which is this fella here. Now he is half Easycare. I click on here, brings up. He's actually a little bit more. 53%. Don't know how he got 53, but we've got some Wiltshire and we've got some Texel coming in, and he was a single. Now, just a note: a lot of guys stay away from singles. They're scared of them. But let's go back to his dam. Should be able to click on here, and if I scroll down here, his dam's quite a mix. And I just push the show here, and it'll bring up the offspring of that ewe. So she's a 19 bred ewe. She lambed as a hogget in 20. She had triplets in 21. She had twins 22. She had triplets in 23, and she had a single in 24. Nothing to be scared of with regard to that. And I'm just going to click back on this arrow here, and I'm going to push his ranking. So this is number 750 by 24 from Enfield. Really balanced across the numbers. Now, if we're looking at these numbers, and I went and pulled up one of Grant's ex-Lanas, one of his Wiltshires, these numbers are lower enough. As I said, they're underrepresented. He's a stocky little ram.
So, don't even need an alert. Just look for a good lamb and check this number. And that is That's 750, trust me. He's a cracker. Absolute cracker. And I seen 735 in here too while I was looking for him. I think that's him there. That's 735 there. Probably, was he a twin? Pretty good too.
And as you can see from the footage I've got right there that I managed to squeeze out of Grant, he's got the reproduction, really good numbers. He's got some survival. He's got some okay growth, and that's quite considerable for a representative of the Easycare that we see at this point in time. Climbing up, of course, because of that New Zealand background of data. When we looked at him, and if I just click down here, I can go out 2, I can go out 3. We go to unknown out in here, and when we do that, it means that our data will be reduced. I don't actually know, again, because of that system, I can't see who the breeder of the semen was. Now as I scroll down here, this fella here, he was a top selling ram in the Kahoo Genetics sale. Really good looking ram, and I know who bought him. And the man that purchased this particular ram here has also purchased a lot of Wairiri offspring. So I'm going to hopefully catch up with that man there, and he's notably been buying top Easycare genetics. So it'd be a great man to talk to, especially for some feedback for everybody over in the UK and then overseas that have got the Easycares, to see how these Easycare sheep are doing here in New Zealand. Now this little fella here, now this is really interesting. Now I'm not here to knock out the breeders, and I think it's important that we all work together. Okay, that's something that's really important for me. I'm going to find him in the catalogue. Right. Here's the catalogue, 3rd annual sale, and here he is here, lot 74, Wairiri ND 454 by 24. Sire, dam, it does say that he is a purebred nudie, and I did ring Simon today about this and said, hey, what's going on? And they wanted some extra numbers, so this guy is actually, would be termed a Brazilian. He's 75% Easycare. And I just got to watch breeders, that we've got to be important that we put forward the right statistics on the sheep that are being sold. I believe he's probably one of the best rams in the sale. One of the best spec rams, but if you were going for a full shedding, or you were trying to push forward with a crossing over to a shedding sheep, he's probably not the ram to go for. If you were going a little bit slower, I'd have no problem, because he's going to keep the constitution of, if you were coming from, say, a New Zealand Romney, and he's still going to help peel off some wool. Well, let's find him over here again. Here is here, and I will just verify. He wasn't the only one I found. I found a few of them. 72% Easycare, 25 Romney, and 3% Ixlana. So by Wairiri's own standards, he is a Brazilian. Fantastic ram though, pretty good data across the board. I can push his rankings. He's got good meat. He's got good lamb growth. For those who are worrying about the big negative, the bigger the animal is, the more the negative will be for adult size. Okay, so that negative is a penalty, and that's what will drag down this maternal worth. But if you're going for growth and you're going for meat, he's going to be a pick, back on reproduction, and he's back on survival. He's got some reproduction, and we could look through the history if we wanted to, but we can actually trace very quickly. 8322 was a sire, so he was bred in New Zealand. Here is his dam, and if we go back, we can find this one is 3340. We can see that was a Moss Fennin, and this one we can't get into because again they're unknown, so it doesn't come up, so I can't tell you who the breeder was there. And on this side we've got 3340, which we've already worked out as a Moss Fennin. So this is the dam, and I think she's a Romney. Okay, so we know that that ewe is a Romney. So she's a Romney, she's a half, he's a 3/4 or 25% Romney, 3/4 Easycare, give or take, with 3% Exlana mixed in. One of the things I do see a little bit with the Easycare is we see these horns. Not meant to be the case with Easycare. They're not meant to have horns, and something that I think we should stay away from. Someone did buy these animals, and of course because they come from basically polled stock, they're going to throw mainly polled, but every now and then they're going to pop that horn out. It'll be interesting to see how they came up, or how they've responded into New Zealand conditions. Now in here I've been crawling over this catalogue. I'm going down to the Wairere sale to have a look, and we do see a few with a little bit of a nose, a little bit of colour on the nose, which of course is just fine, and there are some reference size. This fella here does look like he may be a CPT ram, so that's a central progeny test ram. I believe that is the ram there. If I'm wrong, I do apologise, but it's been suggested that that is going to be a ram for a central progeny test, and so a semen will be available for people around New Zealand. I can confirm that at the sale, right? And so that's what I'm going down to see. You see that's a fairly good looking ram lamb there. They are 2024 born and being sold as size here now in 2025. Okay, so this is February 2025. Now another thing that Wairere have done, if I scroll down far enough, is these fellas. Now what they've done here is they've put nudie rams across some of their, I believe they're their dominator ewes, which are one of their terminal type ewes, to produce a no shearing terminal offspring, hopefully with enough colour to throw a little bit of a black marker or a coloured marker face, to produce a lamb that doesn't need to be shorn before it is processed. And so they are New Zealand born animals. There's some more of them, so I'll be looking forward to seeing those as well. Before I go, I've pushed the sliders up to 40%, but I've put them across quite a number of traits to try and find those balanced rams that are standing out to me. And this is how I find a lot of rams, and I use Improve to do that. 16922, as we've talked about him, he has been sold on. This guy here, he is 47% Easycare, some Exlana, a composite of some sort, tough rom. So he is featuring very high. 55123. I've never seen that ram. 426. One of the high prices at the Kahoo Genetics sale. 901 I don't recognise, but this guy here I recognise. He was this shortish, whitish, chunky ram. I really liked him. So I wonder how far up I could run the slider. Sure, I could do it a long way. But going back to yellow, so I'm going down to the Wairere nudie sale. As I said, it can be confusing now with these different names. I did question breeding, trademark, concept, ethos, all those sorts of things, and I don't mind them being called a breed. I don't mind calling them, people calling their sheep a trademark name, or giving them a name to define them. I'd like to know why, and I'm going to ask why that name was changed from an Easycare, from a Welsh Easycare, to the nudie. and of course the other breeders are selling them as Easycares. Hopefully that's given you a little bit of a feel for what we've got here in New Zealand. Next time we'll see some real life sheep, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll catch you later.